So RPA is robotic process automation. Now you spell it out like that, that still doesn't tell you what the hell it is.
No, yeah.
So that's why I just say RPA. So there's really nothing robotic about it, quote unquote. Like, it's more so like you're creating software applications, you're automating things, right? Using drag and drop features instead of coding. A lot of people talk about AI and, RPA and, people are feared losing jobs, like even software developers with Devin coming out, right? So what I will say about RPA is that it's great for like plugging and playing, right? Anything that, like, if you have a computer and you have any process that you do on a daily or a weekly basis, and you can point here, click there, type there, RPA can do it. I was working in all these companies as an engineer and just, I did not like it. RPA was the first thing that I found where I was like, wait, I'm good at this. It's simple. And like, I'm being praised and promoted. Like, this is dope. And it's easy. It's easier than what I was doing, and it pays more.
This is one of the most important conversations for us to have on Tech is the New Black, because we all see what's happening. We are in the midst of the boom, the midst of the AI boom, the midst of the robotic boom, machine learning, and a variety of other things. And these things have always been around. Robotics has always been around. AI has always been around. But we are in the boom right now where, for the first time, we're seeing AI and robots actually being merged together. And oftentimes people talk about, learning AI, which is very important. But one thing that we're missing out on is the opportunity when it comes to robotics. And I learned recently from AD, who's a guest that we have today, that learning actually how to prompt or engineer or create robots is not as complicated as I thought. It's actually very simple. Mm-hmm. So, AD, bro, we're going to talk about this, man, but I'm very excited, very grateful that you come on Tech is the New Black.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. So I keep hearing you say robotics, right? So
please correct me if I'm saying
No. You're fine. Because in tech, a lot of things is marketing, right? So I do RPA, right? So on Instagram is AD, the RPA guy, right? So RPA is robotic process automation. Now you spell it out like that, that still doesn't tell you what the hell it is.
No, yes.
So that's why I just say RPA. So there's really nothing robotic about it, quote unquote. Like, it's more so like you're creating software applications, you're automating things, right? Using drag and drop features instead of coding. Does that make sense?
Wait, so someone that we getting into it already. So y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, because I'm already getting hyped. So someone doesn't even have to code to. I'm just gonna let you keep rapping because you talking some good stuff
So
right
when
now.
we think about software and automate, all technology is automation, right? So we think about traveling years and years ago, right? It used to be horse and buggy. Then we got the car, and we think about we used to do clothes and wash bins and things like that. Now we have a washer and dryer. So RPA it's like coding, except it's like significantly dumbed down. Like you're dragging and dropping activities type of thing, right? And so here's an example I like to give. Let's just say somebody wants some software, some code to be written that does something rather simple, right? Like it takes in some input from a user. It says, hey, give me a name of a city, okay? It takes that city, it types it into Google, and it tells you what the weather is on Google in that city that day, right? In order to build something like that, you would need to know Python or JavaScript or whatever, right? Or using RPA, it's like a 3-step process. It's like, all right, we're going to use the activity that allows us to get input from the user. Then we're going to use the activity that allows us to open up Chrome. Then we're going to, and then you tell it, okay, where do I want it to go? Google.com. And then I want it to, it's very simple. It's like coding, but it's drag and drop, and it was so simple that I was like, bro, it's incredible that they pay this well for this.
All right, so just to give you a heads up, during this interview, you are going to hear me say multiple times how I plan on signing up for RPA University to become an RPA prompter, which is what our guest today is doing in tech. Now, this interview took place 2 months ago from the time that y'all are watching it, and not only did I pay full price to sign up for the RPA University, but I also have landed 3 different offers from 3 separate companies. One offer for $100,000, the second one for $115,000, and the third for $150,000. Now the question is, which one am I gonna take? Am I gonna take the one that's paying more? Well, actually the answer is all of them. So as being an RPA prompter, you actually can job stack, which is something we talk about a lot, where you technically can work in multiple jobs at the same time. Now, if you actually take a look at my LinkedIn, you would have noticed about 6 weeks ago, I updated my LinkedIn to being an RPA engineer for this exact very reason. Now look, y'all, the same program I did is RPA University. I didn't get a discount off, but our guest is allowing you all to get 27% off when you mention my name when you're speaking with their career advisors. Definitely check out this program because it is in high demand. It's easier than most other things you can do in tech, and the program is self-paced, but you can knock it out in a few weeks just like I did. So again, click the link down in the description below and keep us posted on your journey breaking into tech as an RPA engineer. Yeah, so that actually leads perfect into the question I was going to ask. When you say pays this well, what does the pay look like in that space?
So the average RPA developer right now is making about 130,000, right? And guys who are going through my course, and again, I went the 4-year university route, so I don't know what is going on in boot camps today, but I know that I have guys who have graduated my course, right? And they're going on, and these are guys with no degrees, no background in tech, no technical, no nothing, absolutely, which are my favorite kind of people to work with, right? And raking in 80, 85, 90,000 out the door.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. So I've been in the tech sales space for a minute. As much as I enjoy sales, I enjoy being a sales engineer at least, which currently I'm not a sales engineer right now, but as much as I enjoy that, I've actually been itching to do something different. And I've been trying to think like, yo, what do I want to do that's different? I want to do something that's more technical, but I personally don't have the time, the energy, or really the desire to learn all of the ins and outs of more technical components. It's like, yo, I want to do something that's on the more technical side, and I want to get that bag in tech, but I don't want to have to do the year or 2 years of work that it takes to learn, even on a basic level, how to be an efficient developer. And so, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you actually, like, I'm not capping. You actually got me pretty excited about the idea of checking out your program. So people are starting out making that much. What's some of the highest salaries you've heard of those that is robotic processing automation?
RPA. Just
RPA. See, I was trying to be cool, and he was just like, bro, just keep it simple. Just keep it simple.
I'm a simple guy.
Just RPA. All right, so yeah, what's some of the highest salaries or earnings that you've heard of?
You know, honestly, it's a small community. It's a very small community. So I'm based in Dallas. So small that I know most of the RPA developers in Dallas because I've worked with them, like alongside of them, right? So I don't know. I know the most I've seen. Now there's a developer, then there's like a solution architect, which is a little bit higher, but like the solution architects are pulling in so it's like per hour. If I've done the math correctly, it's like 180, something like that for the solution architects. And funny enough that you mentioned sales engineer. So this is when I got the idea. I was a sales engineer for an RPA company, right? And my job was to, it'd be me and the salesperson. We fly out to whatever location, right? And they're selling them or whatever. And they're like, hey, AD, we need you to build this little demo bot in the next 24 to 48 hours while we're here. And it's not something that you would put in production, right? It's something you just kind of throw together something really quickly to show them like, hey, this is simple, this is cool, and it works, right? And I was like, bro, like we're here for 2 days. So 2 8-hour days, 16 hours, right? The work could be done in like an hour or two, maybe 3, 4, right? I'm like, this is simple. This is ridiculous. And so that's when I started realizing, okay, I think this is simple enough that I can teach it to someone else. And so that's kind of what me building this company has been all about, just me proving that premise.
Bro, Eddie, so what has me really excited about what you're doing with RPA and just robotics in general is that most of the industries that we talk about in tech are industries that are not oversaturated, but they're saturated. But this space is a space that, as you mentioned, you know most of the people that are, especially the bigwig people in this space already, because it's a small niche industry. But it's an industry that has gotten nowhere near its peak. It's still so early on, especially with and I'm saying these things, but I could be wrong. But what does the future look like for robotics, especially now with AI? Like, is it like, how far do you see this space going?
Gotcha. So again, I hear you keep mentioning robotics. I want to simplify it for it. No. It is drag and drop coding. That's what it is, right? Like, because robotics is marketing. Is all that is, right? So the future. So 2021, there's about $3 billion spent in RPA, right? By 2030, they're expecting that to be 30 billion, right? 53% of companies who are using RPA today are expecting to double what they're spending on RPA. Right. Now, a lot of people talk about AI and, RPA and, people are feared losing jobs, like even software developers with Devin coming out. Right. Yeah. So what I will say about RPA is that it's great for like plugging and playing. Right. Anything that, like, if you have a computer and you have any process that you do on a daily or a weekly basis and you can point here, click there, type there, RPA can do it. Like, if I sit and watch you do it, I can build a bot that does it. Now, on the back end, though, it also can interact with APIs, right? And I like to keep things simple. So to me, an API is anytime we're sending information over the internet without using a browser, right? That's not the technical definition. That's my definition.
Yeah, but that's good. That helps people. People.
And so with things like ChatGPT, right, like you can integrate RPA in that. You can say, all right, here's the, the webhook or whatever for ChatGPT. Send this information, right? And whatever it says, bring it back to me. And then, from there, do what you want to do with it, right? So what I like about RPA is that it can plug and play with anything. If there's an interface, it can do that. If there's a back end, if there's an API, it can do that, right? And so it's a great technology.
Oh, that's incredible, man. Now, I'm honestly really excited about this because it's very rare. Usually when we have guests and we're talking about roles in tech or careers, again, it's usually a career where it's still going, but it's probably hit its peak already. Not that it's dropping off, but it's hit its peak already. But this is a space that has not hit its peak. It's growing, and it's going to keep growing because technology, we all see it. Let us know in the comments if you see what's happening when it comes to the advancements of technology. And just as he keeps saying, where, of course I keep saying robotics because of marketing, but at the end of the day, in order for any of these robots or systems or machines to do things, it is happening because the software is the brains of it. And where instead of needing a coder or a developer to have to code and develop everything out, like you mentioned in the simplifying way, the drag and drop of certain prompts that are in there, it's initially creating the brains, the personality, the operation for these machines. And so I'm excited, y'all. I'm nerding out right now. Let me know. I know
you are.
I know it's a few y'all in the comments that are some nerds too. Let me know because I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. Again, not technical. I'm not nerdy enough to want to become technical, but I'm a huge fan of what you're doing and just this space and technology in general. And bro, so I know that so obviously you're the founder of your business, and you've helped different people get into this industry and space. How did you get started with helping people get in, and at what point were you like, okay, all right, I've helped some people get into this space, let me go ahead and actually build this out into something where I can help people on a more mass scale?
Yeah, so I'll take you back a little bit further than that. So I went to a 4-year university, right? Got my college degree, graduated with all this debt, and then realized everything I was learning was online for free, right? So then you feel stupid. And so, I was working in all these companies as an engineer, and I did not like it. RPA was the first thing that I found where I was like, wait, I'm good at this. It's simple. And I'm being praised and promoted. Like, this is dope. And it's easy. It's easier than what I was doing, and it pays more, right? It was a no-brainer, right? So I just kind of had the idea, I think I can teach other people to do this. So it started with me just talking to friends and family, right? Like, hey, I think I can teach you how to do this, right? And then, after talking to so many people, one of my really good friends, we actually sat down at Starbucks one day, and I was like, bro, what you're doing is so much more complex than what I do, and you make less. You should do this. He was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm good.
Wait. You said he was working at Starbucks.
No. We met at Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
We were just sitting at Starbucks meeting.
I thought you was telling him his job at Starbucks. I was like, wait, you telling me it's that easy? I'm like, oh, hold up. I'm about to sign right now.
So, no, we met. We were sitting, and, because I see him maybe once or twice a year. So we were catching up, right? And we met at Starbucks, and he was showing, and he's a wicked smart guy. He's like, he built a script that will like go online on LinkedIn and have conversations with people as if it's a real person.
Can you explain to people what a script is, just so everybody's on the same page?
It's some code that you run. I don't know. I like, and that's another thing. I'm not the kind of guy. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you I'm more intelligent.
I love it. I love it because it goes to show where you're like, yo, I don't know all of this super technical stuff.
I don't need to.
But I'm RPA. I'm able to do these things. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So he basically built this. He wrote some code that would go on LinkedIn and respond to people and have conversations, and eventually get them to give them his phone number, their phone number. Like, bro, that's next level intelligent. He spent hours on this, right? And I'm like, bro, you can do that. You can absolutely do this. And we sat down that day. He didn't want to talk about it. Then he started seeing me get in, and I'm now making six figures, a couple six figures. And now he's like, hold on, wait. Show me what you're doing. I showed it to him, right? Like, and I'm not going to sit here and say I taught him everything because he's a smart guy. I showed it to him. Within 2 weeks of me showing it to him, he went and got a six-figure job. You see what I'm saying? So that technically was like my first student, so to speak, right? Now, when people ask me like, hey, tell me about your program, how long does it take, I'm like, the fastest guy to ever do it did it in 2 weeks, right? I'm not saying you're going to be able to do it, but I'm telling you what's possible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard anything like that before. Like, y'all know, we've had a lot of testimonies of people breaking into tech quickly through our platform and through other platforms that we celebrate, but never within 2 weeks landing something, especially in a space like this. Bro, that's incredible, man. That's really incredible.
Yeah, and he's killing it. He's crushing it. He's making over $250,000 right now.
How long ago was this?
Maybe 2-3 years ago. Because, again, it just started as an idea. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have an LLC at that time. That was just a conversation that we had, and then he went and he took it, and then he got his wife is now involved, and she went through the program. Now she's making money, and it's just rocking and rolling, bro. And it is the simplest, quickest, most effective way for someone to get into tech, in my opinion.
I mean, no, that's definitely one of the fastest I've heard, especially to start out in six figures. You know, I always say six-figure tech career, just to be clear, where, okay, you could start out 70,000, 65,000, 90,000, maybe start out 120,000. But it's very rare that someone actually does start out at six figures. And so
now he also had prior like help desk and tech experience.
Okay,
so
cool.
Even if somebody were to go and do it, like they're going to start around 80, 85. In 10 to 15 years, that's probably going to be 100. You know what I'm saying? Just due to inflation and all of that.
Man, that's incredible, bro. So, look, gotta ask, with someone who they don't know anything technical at all, they're listening to this and they hear you saying drag and drop, and most people are familiar with our platform. They know that we don't do any capping or any weird stuff on our platform. Nevertheless, for the person that's watching and that's listening, it's like, okay, this sounds good, but this sounds too good to be true. Because maybe they don't know about the different opportunities in the tech industry. And there are very few opportunities like this, like what you're talking about. And so what's a word of advice or a word of encouragement that you have for that person that's on the fence where they're like, okay, well, all right, I'm not technical. Not only am I not technical, I don't really understand this whole tech industry. What does really tech even mean? Where's a point that you would encourage them to get started, and what's a word of advice that you have for them that could maybe give them an inspiration or hope for their journey?
Okay, so you're familiar with Country Wayne, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I love Country Wayne.
Yeah.
So he had the interview he did with Shannon Sharp where he was like, hey, man, no one has a better interest in me getting ahead than me. So he's like, I'm going to always be my biggest investment. So I took that to me, like, I heard him say that, and I was like, bro, that makes so much sense. I'm in the point now where, like, I'm always going to hire a coach for anything I'm doing. I'm never starting from scratch. So the best way, and obviously I'm biased, come holler at me. Come send me a message on Instagram at the RPA guy. And because really what mentors and coaches do is they help simplify things for you, right? And tech is big, it's huge, it's vast. One of the things people say to me a lot is like, I'm not tech savvy. I don't know anything about tech at all. And it's a huge industry, right? So like your first mistake is trying to learn it all or think you need to know it all, right? I tell people you want to figure out a lifestyle you want to live, figure out how much that lifestyle costs, reverse engineer it from there, and then find you a career that allows you to do that.
Yo, that's good. I love that.
And then I just want to plug my guy, Charles. You can find him on Instagram. I think his thing is clean_reps. That guy's a killer. Like he is. I'm 30. I'm 32. That guy is killing it. He's in his 20s, making multiple six figures. He's helping guys do the same thing. Like in cybersecurity. Now, if you check out my Instagram, I'm making fun of cybersecurity guys all the time. Don't tell me you did a cybersecurity boot camp because I'm coming for you. Because I, as an RPA developer, I've worked in a company and they shut the RPA portion down and they're like, hey, you're valuable. We want to keep you. We want to transition you to cybersecurity. Right. And I was like, all right, I'll try. I'll stick it out. You know, I got multiple gigs. So I'm like, if I don't like it, I'll quit. Right. And so I sit down, I do a meeting and he tries to teach me the cybersecurity stuff. And I'm a smart guy. And my homie that I was telling you about, we work at the same company together at this point in time. He's a smart guy. We're sitting in this meeting and this guy's teaching and our eyes are glossing over like, bro, I don't want to, this is difficult for two smart people who've been in tech, who make six figures. This is difficult. You're not finna tell me you finna just come off the street, learn cybersecurity. No, you're not, bro.
Oh, no.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's going to take you 12 to 18 months of studying. And if you want to get out here and make a career where you're making 120, 130, 150 out the gate, you can do that. But if you want something simple, you want something that's easy to learn, and you want to start out at 80 and then take that money and invest in yourself in the future, I'm your guy. I don't think there's any better opportunity out there.
Bro, 80, bro, this is incredible, man. You legit, and y'all think I'm capping. Like, watch my content a year from now. I'm gonna be talking about this, and I'm gonna be literally in this same space in this segment of tech, bro. Man, appreciate you so much, dude. Not just for being here on Tech is New Black, but I mean, as much as Tech is New Black has paved the way for so many people, this is a segment you're paving the way. You've been doing it, and you're continuing to pave a way for people in a whole different sector that many of us aren't even considering. And so the tech industry, the opportunity is booming in the industry, but there's a lot of competition that's coming in the industry. So it's dope for you to be in a space that there's not as much competition, but it's in a space it's in a niche space within tech that's booming and growing even more. So, bro, thank you so much for everything that you do and for coming on.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me. RPA, I don't think we've talked about the name of the program. RPA University is the name of the program. We've got a self-paced option, and then we've got an option where you're like working with me one-on-one and I'm mentoring you. Either way, the content is the same, and I really do believe that it is the best opportunity on the market today for someone who's like, look, I want to get into tech. I want something that allows me to have my time freedom back because most roles are remote at this point. And I'm looking to just get my toe wet, period. And I don't have a super technical background.